Hey everyone, it's Maria Solitary Witch Tracks here. So I hope everyone's having a good day. This idea for a video came up into my mind actually as I was reading it. It's a book called The Witch in Every Woman by Laurie Cabot, and despite the name, it's actually about how both men and women have this innate witch ability inside us. And so I just wanted to discuss how by accepting or embracing or working with warrior goddesses, we can actually reach our full potential. Alright, as I was saying before, the book is called The Witch in Every Woman by Laurie Cabot, and the preface is, that we all have this innate witch ability inside of us, that through the years and through the cultures and oppression of all things New Age, witchy, and magical, you've actually suppressed this innate witch ability. And it doesn't seem that big of a deal. It doesn't seem that disconcerting to our everyday lives, but actually by not truly embracing our inner witch, it actually really negatively affects us. And I think that's really interesting, especially now that I'm working with the goddess Morgan, and I'm also discovering all these other warrior goddesses as well, and especially in the book, The Witch in Every Woman, because it is all about the Mabinogion and these Celtic warrior goddesses. And so I just think that it's really, really interesting how this can relate closely into our lives, because we all read these books about self-help books, embracing your true potential, becoming one with yourself, knowing yourself, being able to get what you want in life, becoming rich, all this, etc. And what I get from this is it all ties so closely with embracing our inner witch, and how if we embrace our inner witch, it can lead to so many open doors for us. It can open so many paths and so many avenues for us and help us to erase fear and doubt, self-doubt and self-sabotage, and help bring clarity to our lives. Alright, and so in the book, she basically says, in order to reach our full potential, we need to embrace the witch, not shun her. And this goes along with our society becoming more patriarchal as time goes on. Back then, we have a lot of influences, we have a lot of examples from archaeology and history, such as the Venus of Waldorf, and a lot of other feminine figurines of very curvy goddesses or very thin goddesses, just a lot of feminine figures, and how they were just scattered around, found in all the different places of homes and public spaces. And this really shows us how much the feminine ideology, feminine thought and feeling and emotion was embraced. And we no longer really have that in our society. As society developed, as structured religions developed, we've become a more patriarchal society in which a lot of the goddess, the witch, feminine intuition, all of that has been repressed, shunned, and shamed. And whether we know it or not, we've kind of done this ourselves as well, especially when it comes to the word witch. There's a lot of bad and negative stigmatism with the word witch. As I was saying, there is a lot of negativity and a lot of stigmatism or stigma associated with the word witch. Even today, we think the only kind of positive things you've seen about witches, honestly, Harry Potter movies. One of my favorite examples are the Harry Potter movies. You have Hermione Granger, Minerva McGonagall, all these women, they were called witches in the novels. And then we have things like Practical Magic. We also have things like The Craft, Mists of Avalon. These are all more positive portrayal of witches. However, we still get other movies like The Witch that just came out, and all these other things that the Blair Witch Project, all those other example of movies and pop culture in which negative stigmatism is tied with the W word, witch. And because of this, obviously, there's fear of embracing this word, and there's a lot of stigmatism when it comes to organized religions, especially Christianity, in which, the King James Version of the Bible did its own translation away from the actual original translation and took it its own thing. Instead of saying thou shalt not suffer a thief to live, says thou shall not suffer a witch to live. Within my undergrad and my graduate studies, we looked at the Bible as literature, and I cannot remember the Aramaic, the original Aramaic, if you would translate it, said, "Thou shalt not suffer a thief to live," but King James, obviously for his own purposes, for his own agenda, translated that to witch, and so that is where a lot of negativity between Christianity and witches start really growing. I mean, obviously there is the Emperor Constantine, who went ahead and slaughtered pagans because he was turning the state of Rome into a Christian Catholic state. And so there's all that too. And so there's been a huge war on witchcraft since patriarchal societies began to blossom and really form within our lives. And so that's why we have all this negative connotation with witch, and that's why it becomes really hard for us to embrace the witch, to openly say, I'm a witch, you are a witch, she's a witch, he's a witch, we are witches. And so it becomes, when negative, it can become almost, I want to say it's not disempowering, I don't know if that's a word, disempowering. It becomes like it almost weakens us and our resolve in becoming witches when we associate that negative stigmatism. It becomes really hard for us not to. But however, reading these books by Laurie Cabot really helps myself to embrace the W or witch word a whole lot more than I was, especially reading it because in order to reach our full potential, we need to tap into the witch. We need to embrace the witch and not shun her. She is the source of intuition. She's the source of power. So when we deny the witch, we deny this power, this innate ability within us. And it kind of almost weakens it because we associate a lot of fear with that, and that can weaken our self-confidence in ourselves, and therefore it can weaken our magic and our spells, because if you don't have full confidence in what you're doing, and if you do not fully believe or do not have have a good, strong resolve in saying, I can do this, I can take my power into my hands, I can take my fate, my destiny into my hands, I can manipulate energies around me, I can create these spells and this magic. If you don't have that 100% confidence behind it, it's not always going to work out. At least that's how I feel. The intention, if your intention is not strong enough, I don't think personally that your spell is going to be as effective as you want it to be. And so so she provides us different ways to embrace the witch and to strengthen our own inner confidence that ways. One of my favorite ways is to work with warrior goddesses, but we'll get to that. So one of those ways is to not use depreciating language, such as saying, someone made me do this, someone made me do that, blah, 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 someone didn't allow me to do this, or someone didn't allow me to do that. And so when you do that, you are giving your power to someone else. You are basing your actions, your thoughts, your feelings on someone else's will. And so when you think of things in that way, you're kind of giving away your personal power. And so instead of doing that, you can say, you can take it and put more of the I let this person do this. I let that person do that to me. I let this person not let me get a tattoo, or I let this person's thoughts not let me or I let this person's opinion of piercings make myself not get a piercing, like saying, if you want to get a tattoo and your boyfriend's like, oh, I don't like that, well, you're giving away your power, something you wanted, but you're letting the thoughts of your significant other control you. And so that's one of those ways, she says, by changing that language and changing that thought process, it will help you to get closer to your inner witch and that inner power. And then also she talks about embracing emotions of all kinds. And this includes anger, sadness, etc. And by embracing, she does not mean to let them overwhelm you. I don't mean them to overwhelm you. By embracing emotions, allow yourself to feel those emotions, recognize that they are there, but do not let them overwhelm you. So by that, instead of saying, I am angry, I am sad, I am depressed, you can say, I feel angry, I feel sad, I feel depressed. Because you do feel those emotions, but you are not those emotions. And so you kind of distance yourself from your emotions, but at the same time you're embracing them, you recognize you're there. So I would got in a huge fight with someone, and I could be like, I feel angry with this person. They made me feel this way, or even not made me, but because of them, I feel this way. I feel that way. I feel angry. I feel upset. I feel hurt. So you if you listen closely to that language, you can say like, I feel angry versus I am angry. When you're saying I am angry, you're not only recognize your anger, but you're fully embracing it and you're taking it on as your personality, as your person. But when you're saying I feel angry, you recognize that's there, but you're not embracing it into your personality, into your being. And so it's a good way to be able to listen to your emotions and work with them and not let them overwhelm you. And then also, wear things and do things that make you feel empowered. So I like wearing a lot of witchy stuff. I wear a lot of, I have took my earrings out because my ears are hurting. But, I wear a lot of earrings, I wear jewelry, paint my nails, I do my makeup, I do clothes. And it doesn't have to necessarily be witchy things. You don't have to wear all black. You don't have to have, like, huge, cliche makeup, things like that. Lori Cabot, she dresses the way she does because it makes her feel empowered, and that's fine. I dress the way I do. I like wearing wedges. I like wearing clothes that make me look good, that flatter my figure. I love putting on my makeup. I love wearing earrings and accessories because it makes me feel good. I don't do it for anyone else. Which also makes me really mad because people are like, what are you dressing up for? I'm like, excuse you, for me? Hello? Or when you go out in public, you get hit on a lot, and you're just like, leave me alone. Okay, this is not for you. This is for me. So that's that's pretty much what the whole idea is, wearing things that make you feel empowered. Damn what other people think. Like, fuck them. Fuck what they think. Wear what you feel empowered. Wear what makes you feel confident. Wear what makes you feel good. That is another way to help embrace your inner witch. And then also, last but not least, working with warrior goddesses. And so Lori Cabot, she's very closely tied with Celtic pantheon. That's her whole shebang. That's her whole spiel, is the Celtic pantheon. I work in many different pantheons. It doesn't really matter to me where they come from. If they want to work with me, if they call to me or whatever, I build that relationship with that deity. And so right now, the Morrigan is calling to me, and I'm building a relationship with her. And so, like I said, she uses Celtic goddesses, and there's two main goddesses she talks about, is the Morrigan, and hopefully I pronounced her name right. I think Scaur. She is a Celtic Scottish goddess. If you said her name phonologically, what it looks like in English, it looks like Scathach. But I think in the book, remember, it's like pronounced Scaur because it's Celtic Gaelic. I'm probably butchering it, and I do apologize to those who speak Gaelic. I apologize. But Scaur is a goddess of war, power, and training, of warrior fighting. She's the goddess of training for war, becoming with these war plans, like all about, being able to plan and improvise and do what you need to do, protect yourself, and keep your power with you. She is very much, she will not let anyone take her power. And for her, it's all about being prepared. The best offense is a good defense. So that is what that goddess is for. And so if you ever feel the need to be more prepared in your life, to overcome obstacles and people and things, she's a really good goddess to work with. The goddess Morrigan I am working with right now, she is a goddess of passion, of confidence, swiftness, and justice. Her passion comes from, in the story of the Mabinogion, where she meets Dagda. She meets him, and he's worthy of her. She deems him worthy, and they go at it. They pretty much go at it. And then also, before, she had lovers as well, in which she presented herself to them. She's like, I want to make love to you. She knows what she wants, and she goes for it. So she has that confidence and that swiftness of action. She'll go for it. She'll take it. However, I cannot remember the name of the poor lad, but he denied her, and so she killed him, or she did something to him, and he died in war, and something like that, and she made crows pick at him, something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but she basically made him unable to fight, and he died in battle, and she let her crows and ravens pick at him, and he died in a horrible, gruesome death, because he denied her and he shamed her. He basically slut-shamed her, and she's like, alright, okay, see how it is. And so she's very much, and she will very much, and like she knows what she wants, and she'll go for it. She is very swift in her actions, and she's very confident. So if you feel the need to be more confident, if you feel like you need more swift in your actions, Goddess Morrigan is very much someone to look to. And then the third one, she's not necessarily a goddess. I don't know if she's necessarily a goddess, or I can't remember exactly, but her name is Rhiannon. I guess she is technically a goddess. She's a horse goddess, Rhiannon. In the story, shoot. she has all these suitors coming after her. She's riding around a horse. All these suitors come after her. Her horse is faster, so she's able to outrun them. And then, I think his name, is it Dwell or Pwill? I'm probably pronouncing it. It's like Pool, something like that, or Duel. They, two men in the main story, one of them, I can't remember which one, he goes after her, but she's always riding out of his reach. He sends people, she always gets out of his reach, and he tries to go for her, and she's out of his reach, and he's finally like, please stop. She's like, all you have to do is ask. So she's very like, like, you know, whatever, playful kind of thing, very sarcastic and sassy. And then, and beforehand, like, and she chose him. She's like, you know, I want to be with you because I chose you. I think you're worthy of me. And her old suitor, she was actually suited to another before. It was the other guy, Duel or Pool. She was suited to him before, but she's like, he's not worthy of me, and I don't want him. And so that's why she went riding around until the other guy found her, and she's like, all you do is ask. And so he is enthralled. They become betrothed, and unfortunately, he's not very smart. And the ex-suitor comes to him. And in tradition, you know, when they have a marriage celebration or engagement celebration, the castle is open to all, and those who can't, and everyone can make a request of the king or the lord or whatever you have you. And so a beggar comes dressed up, or the ex-suitor comes dressed up as a beggar, and the guy's like, "What boon can I give you?" And he was like, "If I can." I can't remember the parameters, but he's like, basically, if I can do this, or if I can do blah, 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 can I have the hand of your lady, etc. And he was like, yeah, whatever. He didn't think nothing would happen, and the guy took off his cloak and revealed who he was and did the thing he said he was going to do, and he ended up getting Rhiannon, and Rhiannon, like, she didn't hate him. She's like, oh my god. So she had to go clean up his mess, and she basically told him what to do. So when she was at her other engagement party, she had him come dress up as a beggar as well, but not ask the same boon. He asked, you know, if you can, I think, eat, like, she gave him a magical pouch that was endless and would put a whole bunch of food in it. She's like, basically, and just tell him that if he can eat all the food out of this pouch, then he can keep his wife. If not, then he can give him to the guy, the beggar, or whatever. And so the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And of course he couldn't eat all the food, so it's a magical pouch, magical, like, cauldron kind of pouch, you know, all the food. And Rhiannon and the guy got back together. And so basically in that story, Rhiannon chose who she wanted. She did not let fate decide. She did not let anyone else decide for her. She's like, I want this guy, I don't want that guy. She was confident enough to keep that decision. She knew what she wanted, and she wasn't going to let anyone take that personal power from her. And even when the guy she loved fucked up, she cleaned it up. She was like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on. I'll just do this for you, whatever. So it's not. So she knows what she wants. She goes after it, and she can also. She's empowered to know these things and clean up these messes for other people. And so those are just some examples of goddesses. There's also the goddess Kali, who was created to kill a demon because Shiva, all these other gods, they couldn't kill this demon. And so they had to create this female goddess, Kali, to be able to kill the demon. And so with Kali, she's all about, you know, embracing your power, defeating those foes in your path. She's very, you know, in your face, on the point. And then there's Hecate as well. She's not necessarily a warrior goddess, but she's a very empowering goddess. She's like a no bullshit goddess. And so in order to help you embrace your inner witch, I would suggest finding a warrior goddess from any pantheon you like to work with, or you feel you resonate more closely with, and work with that goddess. I mean, there's Sekhmet from the Egyptian mythology. She is the goddess at the head of a lion. She's very fierce, very strong, very willed. She knows what she wants. Like all lionesses, they are the ones that go out to hunt. They are the ones that find the food. They're the ones that take care of the family. They know what's going on. They have the strength. They have the power to do whatever they can to provide for their family. And so that's an example of a warrior goddess as well. So we have all these different pantheons to choose from, to work with the warrior goddess to help us embrace our inner witch, to erase the negative stigmatism that comes with the W word, and to help us find more fulfillment in our lives so we reach our full potential. Because when we're so plagued by self-doubt and just self-doubt, when we're so plagued by that, it kind of blinds our senses. It blinds us to seeing what's really there because we're so preoccupied with these other thoughts and these negative emotions. But once we can fully embrace ourselves and reach our full potential, it kind of makes it clear for us and we can see again. Holy cow, this video is really fucking long. I'm really sorry about that. I got really way too into this. But yes, so these are just thoughts about embracing your inner witch and your full potential that I had, especially from reading this book. My throat's a little dry from talking so much. But again, this podcast is really long. I would love to hear what warrior goddesses you guys may work with, embracing your inner witch, how you guys reach your full potential, things like that. I would love to hear it. And please, if someone can make a VR, I haven't had a VR in forever. I miss the direct VR we used to be able to do on YouTube. Google took that away from us. I want it back because I can get notifications like, oh, someone did a video response to you. And it's so amazing because you can just click on it instead of someone like tagging. You have to hunt the comments or message or whatever for that link. So please make a video response. I would love to hear a comment. I just loved hearing from you guys. I thank you guys so much for watching and patiently watching this really long video. I love you guys. Blessed be. Namaste.